Okay, getting a little bit of a late start here because I was having an internet issue. I'm also having a bit of a lighting issue, but that's okay. As long as we can stay up on the internet, I'll be happy. All right, let's get our ducks in a row here. All right, good morning, everyone. Today's topic is money mindset. So, how to stop blocking your wealth potential and start opening yourself up to abundance today, today. No more waiting, right? Let's flip that money mindset and open you up to what is possible. So, if you are joining me on the replay, thank you and hello. I want to remind you to please good morning. If you're watching on the replay, I want to remind you that you can still post comments and questions. I will get a notification. And so if there's anything that I can answer at a later time, I will. And if you're watching live, thank you so much for joining me live. As you hop on, please say hello. Maybe let us know where you're joining from so that others on the video can see. As you know, I'm live here every Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time right now. And that's 10:30 for you East Coasters. And these sessions are basically free coaching with me, right? So a bit of free coaching, 20 to 30 minutes at the most. And I always give you some valuable information or insight around a particular topic that can help improve your life. And I always leave you with some kind of takeaway tip or strategy. Excuse me. So today's topic, again, is money mindset, how to stop blocking your wealth potential so that you can start opening yourself up to abundance. So for those who don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Jessica Perez-Beebe. I am a life coach and a mindset strategist. So what does that mean? It means I teach people specific mindset strategies to improve their life, to achieve goals, and to basically help them live the life that they really want to live. So I've been a coach for more than a decade, helping people improve their health and their fitness and their business, as well as their mindset. And that's what I especially love to do with clients. I love to help them break through those sticking points, those mindset blocks that are preventing them from getting what they want. Okay, so today I'm going to give you a couple of mindset strategies. Actually, I think there's 5 in the steps that I'm going to share with you. And you can use this to stop blocking money and wealth from flowing to you. Okay, so if you're joining live, please, if you're brave enough, please type in the comments whether or not you find it easy or difficult to attract money and wealth into your life. So you can just type in easy or difficult, whatever you feel like. Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining. Hi, Liz. So type in the comments, is money easy to come by or difficult to come by? I kind of want to know where people are with this. And if you're watching the replay, which most of you are, please go ahead and type that at this time too, because I always go back and see what someone has posted, and it helps to me to provide relevant information going forward. So as we're going through today's topic, please engage. That's what I love about Facebook Live, is that we can kind of interact in real time. So if you like something that I'm saying, please throw up a like or a heart or throw in a comment to let me know something is resonating with you. Feels sort of hard at times. Yes, I understand that. And hey, is anybody having a cup of tea or coffee? If you are, cheers. So let's get right into the topic. I've got a little fly. So have you ever had one of those mornings where everything is like going the opposite of how you planned? So my internet was down. My lighting is bad. I've got a fly in here. I've got a little froggy in my throat, but that's okay. That's life. We're going to roll with it. So first and foremost, I want to say I am not a financial expert. This is not about how to invest money, how to save money, what kind of retirement plan and all of that kind of stuff. Because first and foremost, I know in my experience, personally and in working with clients, that none of that stuff really matters without the very first step, and that is our mindset around money. So if we can't deal with those mindset issues or ways that we think about money and feel about money, then no amount of learning investments and how to make money and all of that is really going to solve the problem. So money is kind of a taboo topic. People don't like to talk about it. I know I grew up with that kind of idea, with the fact that you don't talk about money and religion, things like that. But it's uncomfortable for some people, and it really shouldn't be. Money is just currency. It's a form of currency. It's just an exchange of one service for another. So like everything around us, like this cup, like my fancy microphone, everything is just a form of matter, right? A form of energy, molecules and atoms. And this is all, good morning. This is all, proven science. This isn't like woo-woo crazy stuff. Everything is matter and is just energy. So if you think about it, today our currency is money. But hundreds of years ago, it was something else. It was a bag of grain, maybe a chicken or a cow. A doctor came to your house and performed a service, and you paid with what you had. Most of the time, it was food. So it's just kind of a certain way to think about money. Like money isn't really anything. It's whatever value we put on it. Today, it's paper, it's plastic, it's even a button on a computer, pay here. So that's kind of what I want you to think about is, the weight that we put on money, like it's this thing of great value, when really it's just something, it's just anything. And it can be any kind of currency. Who knows, what kind of currency it will be 100 years from now. So keep that in mind as we go through talking about the energy of money. So I'm going to be a little vulnerable here and show a little bit of my personal story, because this is a personal topic for me. And one of the reasons I'm passionate about this topic, and I wrote a blog about it, and I'll link that here before we get off the video. I wrote this blog got a few months ago at least, and I got a lot of email replies on it because it really touched a chord with so many people. And it was a really meaningful topic for me in my life because it was something that I had to work for years on, changing my money mindset and the money mindset that I adopted growing up. And that's how we get most of our mindsets, right? It's from our experience, and it starts at a young age. So I was someone who did not grow up with money. I grew up poor. I grew up on public assistance. We had food stamps at one time, Section 8 housing, all that kind of stuff. We weren't homeless. There are plenty of people who were far more poor than my family was. But I had a single mother who struggled. And we even got Christmas gifts from, through donation. I don't know, through maybe the Salvation Army or something, but just to kind of give you a backstory. So that's kind of what I was growing up around in terms of money and how I saw money and wealth, or the lack of it, played out around me. Phrases that I always heard growing up, and some of you may resonate with some of these, and if you do, throw up a thumbs up. I grew up hearing phrases like money doesn't grow on trees, we're not like them as in the people with money, we'll never have that kind of money, etc. All that stuff was kind of confusing because I was taught to work hard for what I want. But the subconscious message, and sometimes the very direct message that I got, was that I'd always be working hard to just get by, just like the rest of my family. I was told that we're poor, but we're good people. We're hard workers, which of course implied that rich people aren't good and that they aren't hard workers. And so I always got the impression that they had it all, the rich people. And I got the impression that they were greedy and shallow and uncaring. Now that was, how I received the messages that were around me. We're all individual. And so of course, how we pick up on the messages around us are going to be different. I'm giving you the example from my point of view in case it resonates with any of you. And as I'm talking about my personal mindset about money and wealth, I want you, hi Jim, I want you to think about your own mindsets around money and wealth when you were growing up. What were the messages that you heard constantly? Were they the same kind of messages that I heard about money not growing on trees and rich people being, greedy and we're hard workers? Or was it something else? It could have been something else for you. So keep that in mind as I go through my personal example. So while I got the impression that rich people had it all, I also got the impression, like I said, that they were greedy and shallow and uncaring. So in my mind as a child and a teenager, and then even in my young adult mind, I subconsciously thought, well, I certainly don't want to be like them. I don't want to be greedy and shallow and uncaring. And also, for such a long time, hearing all of that, it kind of puts an us against them, right? It puts the poor, hardworking people over here and the rich, greedy people over here. So you're already set up to be against each other. So I didn't want to be like them, and so for a long time, I wasn't. I wasn't wealthy, wasn't able to pay my bills on time. I wasn't able to drive a car that I wanted. I wasn't able to do the things that I wanted, take the classes that I wanted and travel like I wanted to. Basically, I couldn't afford to live the lifestyle that I wanted to live. But you know what I was doing really well? I was working really hard and just getting by, exactly as I had been taught. You work hard, but you just get by. You're living paycheck to paycheck. And that's really powerful when you think back on it. If you think about your own childhood and how did your parents interact with money and wealth, your grandparents, the adults that surrounded you, your immediate environment, and ask yourself, is that also the pattern that I've followed? Some people grow up with the mindset, that you have to hoard money because there's never enough. And so even if they're making a lot of money, they're afraid that they're going to lose it. And so they're holding on really tightly. Whatever it is that, was prevalent in our household is easily transferred into our own adult life. Okay, so mindset is everything. And that's why, this is a big topic for me. That's why mindset, being, calling myself a mindset strategist now as I work with clients, is so important to me because I've learned over the 13, 14 years that I've been working with clients in all these different capacities is that we always come up against a wall because of our mindset, because of whatever old ideas and beliefs we've been ingrained with. So it takes work, right? It takes work to step up and notice when a mindset is holding us back. So it always comes down to what we believe we are capable of, what we believe we are worthy of. Those are the things that we will accomplish, no more, no less. And that's what I was finding, when I looked, up at my life and looked around and noticed, I wasn't really getting where I wanted to be. I wasn't having the things that I wanted. And it wasn't even about material things. I wasn't able to take care of myself in the way that I wanted to. And so, when I started to embark on my personal development journey, over 20 years ago, I actually wasn't quite ready for the mindset shift yet around money. I had some other personal development things that I needed to deal with first. And that's kind of an important side note, that the work that we do in here and spiritually, about our confidence and our self-esteem and our self-love and all of that, a lot of that needs to come first before we can even begin to do some of this other stuff, changing our mindset around money. So I had a lot of that stuff to do first. And then I remember quite clearly when the shift for money started happening for me, when those light bulb moments started about 14, 15 years ago, those ahas. And once I began to get it, and began doing mindset work around my limiting beliefs with money, it was just like, wow, it all opened up, right? That's when money began to flow freely to me and through me, right? Because like I said, money is an exchange. It's just an exchange of service. I go out and get a cup of coffee. I give you my $1 or $8, whatever it is, coffee costs these days, and you give me my product. So it's simply an exchange like we talked about earlier. At one point, it was an exchange of a loaf of bread or a cow or a chicken. Whatever it is, it's just an exchange for services. So once I started to get that and started to look back and realize, this is where I got that idea about money, and really started to do the work. I mean, this is years of work, everything opening up slowly but surely, and then faster and faster. That's when things really changed. It doesn't mean I hit the lottery or that there's that fly again, or that all of a sudden money was like falling from the sky, or that I still didn't have to work for what I want. Of course I do, just like everyone does. It means that once I was able to get out of my own way, more opportunities, expected and unexpected opportunities, to earn money and to receive money, they began to present themselves. They began to come into my life. So not just opportunities, job opportunities, but creative ideas, situations, people, right? So there's a saying that birds of a feather flock together, and that's true. It's because our energy attracts like energy. So for a long time, I was hanging around a lot of broke people like me who had the same beliefs about money, because that is the energy that I had. And so like attracts like. But once I started to change my judgments around money and what I believed was bad about money, then I opened my mind to the idea that money isn't bad or good. It just is. And I opened my mind to the idea that I was actually worthy of being wealthy too, right? And once I started to get that, the energy that I put out reflected that change, and started to attract more people like that into my life. And, there's that saying that you are like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And I absolutely agree with that, and have found that to be the case in my life at all times, whether we're talking about money, whether we're talking about, health and fitness, whether we're talking about career things, or, just lifestyle habits and lifestyle changes. Hi, please say hello when you hop on. Good to see some new faces. And so little by little, as I changed that energy that I was putting out and the environment that I was surrounding myself with, I started to find myself earning more, just happened to be saving more. I found myself being in less debt, and then eventually completely debt free, which was a really big step for me. So just to kind of fast forward here, once I started applying all my mindset strategies and really living and breathing it, and really changing my whole idea and concept around money and what was possible, here's what happened for me. In a matter of 2 years, I was able to take my credit score from 580, which everyone knows is really bad, all the way up to 850, and even higher now, where it's remained more than 10 years later. So anyone out there Again, this is me being vulnerable and being honest. Why not? Anyone out there who has had bad credit knows how difficult it is to increase your credit score. It takes years and it's not easy. But it did become so for me as I used my new money mindset to stay the course. So I also use that same mindset to start not one, but 3 brick and mortar businesses. I did not come from a background of any entrepreneurs. Like I said, I grew up with a single mom, a 9-to-5er, living paycheck to paycheck on public assistance, et cetera, et cetera. So even the idea of being an entrepreneur was a really big mindset shift for me. But bringing it back to the money aspect of it, I was able to start 3 different businesses, each one more profitable than the previous one. I also practiced a very specific mindset strategy for about almost 2 years. This is one that I teach in my online course that ultimately led me to pay for my home outright, to pay the mortgage off, which I had only purchased 8 years prior. Now, there was a time in my life where I never would have imagined that to be possible, and until, of course, I did imagine it. I grew up where, you had that 20 or 30-year mortgage. My mother never owned a home, but I remember my grandparents did. And I remember also them taking a second mortgage so they were always paying off their mortgage for I don't know how many decades. So for me to pay off my house, my very first house that I bought myself, again, as I started to open up my mindset around money, when I was able to do that, that was one of those big moments where I was like, I've got this. I've got this mindset thing. I now know, it reinforces what I'm doing. I now know that I have some tried and tested tools that are going to pull me through whenever I need to. So that's pretty amazing when you consider that I grew up like a lot of other people, grew up poor and on public assistance and environments that were entrenched in the poor man's mindset, believing that money was the root of all evil. And, I spent a lot of my life perpetuating that mindset and just getting by. So I don't share this to be boastful at all. It doesn't make me special that I was able to do this, but it does make me proof. Right? It makes me proof that your background and your circumstances don't determine your potential. Your mindset does. Your mindset is what determines what you are able to accomplish in your life. And your mindset can be changed at any time. It's just a choice and then a practice like any other habit. So that is very freeing. That is a beautiful reality to have. Because that gives you control. It takes away control from, your past, takes away control from, the people that raised you. Now that we are an adult, we have our own free will, regardless of, what we came from and what we were taught. So that's the beauty of being able to get out of your own way and change your mindset. And that's my story around mindset or money mindset. Your story may be different. I've spoken to a lot of clients, some even who have money and are doing well or grew up with a lot of money, who have a different money mindset that's holding them back. They have a mindset of fear, of not having enough money. Or some people have the mindset that money is everything. You go for money at the pursuit of money, not for doing something that you love, not for making a contribution, not for taking care of your family, but just because you want to acquire more wealth, you want to acquire more things. That's a whole other money mindset issue, and that can cause a lot of pain as well. So everyone's mindset is different, and what I'm asking you as I share my story is for you to think about, what has been ingrained in your brain and ask yourself, is it serving me? Is this mindset that I adopted growing up around money, is it actually serving my life right now? And if not, then you have the power to make those changes around your mindset. Now, if you are someone who, like me, who had limiting beliefs where money and wealth were concerned, and just are struggling with money and wealth coming and staying in your life, but you really want to attract more money and wealth into your life, then you can begin by making yourself open to the idea of it. Okay. And to become open to the idea of it, you've got to get rid of the negative head trash, that poor man's mindset that is keeping you broke, right? Ignore what your mom and dad told you, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your pastor, whomever had a big influence on you. That was their experience. That was their mindset. It's not yours. Okay, you've got to take back the power over your mind to create what you want in life. So I'm going to give you 5 specific steps right now if you want to attract more money and wealth into your life. Okay, so number 1, stop the negative head trash by stopping the momentum. All right, catch yourself when you find yourself saying certain things or believing certain things like, I'll never catch up on these bills, or God, it's so difficult to make money, etc. All the things that you say to yourself, when you catch yourself in that moment, speak it. Say, oh, there I go again. There's that old money mindset. And then flip it. Okay. So catch yourself, number 1. Number 2, change your language around money. Okay. Your words matter. So you're going to flip it by changing your language. Okay. A couple ways you can do that. Write about it. Write about money and talk about it in ways that feel positive and hopeful, not negative, right? Not negative and doubtful. So if you're into mantras or affirmations, I am one of those people who is. And in my course, I point out that, believe me, even if you're not into mantras and affirmations, you already affirm. You affirm, you're already telling yourself something every day. So you want to be in control of the things that you're affirming in your mind. Okay, so there are a few mantras you can use. I'll type them in the comments right after this, after we go live, but I'll just say them quickly now. Here's a few. And these come from one of my affirmation mentors, Louise Hay. So I now attract wealth from expected and unexpected sources. This is one that I used a lot. Okay, I now attract wealth from expected and unexpected sources. Another one is, I'm a magnet for money. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. So not just money, right? I release all resistance to money. I now allow it to flow joyously in my life. And a lot of what I would say was just that first part. I release all resistance to money. I release all resistance to money. Somebody else might have to release all attachment to money, right? So kind of letting go. Release is a nice word to use when you're affirming. And I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. So those are a few affirmations you can use when you're trying to change your language around money. And journaling is really good for this too. Just kind of free flowing, positive thoughts, pushing out all the negative stuff, flipping the negative stuff into positivity. Okay. Then your third step is to throw out the old script. And this is where the specific journaling comes in. Throw out that old script that you have about money. If it's not serving you, don't keep saying the same old things over and over again, right? Isn't that the definition of insanity? Expecting a different result. So write your own script, okay? You don't need to go by your parents' script anymore. So I call this re-scripting, okay? So write about money and how it can and will serve your life, okay? Don't hold back. This is your journal. This is your life. Write about why you deserve it. Write about why there is enough of it to go around. That's another limiting belief that people have. If I have too much, what about the people over there who don't have enough? You cannot hold wealth from somebody else. You having wealth and money in your life doesn't prevent anybody else from having money or wealth in your life. Energy is limitless and money is just energy. So if everyone is putting their energy in to creating more wealth and abundance, just like creating more joy and happiness and love, then those things cannot be prevented by you or by anyone else. So write about how money can serve you, how money will serve you, how you deserve it, why there's enough to go around, and why money doesn't change you. Money does not change you. Get that out of your mind. Money makes you more of who you are. I think one of my mentors, Tony Robbins, said that. Money doesn't change you. It makes you more of who you are. Okay? Doesn't make you bad. If you're not a bad person, you're not automatically going to get bad all of a sudden just because you have more money and wealth. You probably will do a lot of good things with it. Okay? So number 4, bless your money as you spend it, even your bills. Oh my gosh, I remember when I started to do this and like I was paying my bills when, I was having negative balance in my checking account, but I was practicing this. As I was writing my check, I was blessing my check and I was thanking it for, being able to write that check, even a portion of the bill, paying $25 on the bill. So as you send it out, bless it and give it permission to return back to you. Okay? Remember, this is just an energy exchange. Don't be bitter every time you pay a bill, Be thankful that you have the funds to do it. When it comes up for tax time, my husband and I are both self-employed, so we pay a lot of taxes. So when it comes up for tax time, I have to constantly remind my husband, be thankful. Let's be thankful that we have this amount of money to pay our taxes. Let's not complain about how big the tax check is, right? So the more you bless that money, release it, give it permission to return, you really do. You subtly change that energy field around money. Okay. And then number 5, finally, and I'm just going to be really direct here. Spend more time with people who are wealthy and abundant. Spend less time with broke folk. I know that sounds harsh, and it doesn't mean you like cut people off and you're mean to them and stuff, but be careful of your environment. If whatever it is that you're trying to attract more of in your life or have more of in your life, you need to make sure that the people around you are also on that path or have already been there. Right? You always want to surround yourself with people, at least 1 or 2 people in your life who are where you want to be. Okay. So if you're trying to acquire more wealth and abundance and you're trying to improve your money mindset and your abundance mindset, it's not going to help you if you're around a lot of broke people who are constantly talking down about money and complaining about their lack of. Okay, birds of a feather flock together. So quickly, I'm just going to go over it. Number 1, stop the momentum. Catch yourself when you're being negative and flip it. 2, change your language and words around money. And you have some mantras that you can use there. 3, throw out the old script that you have around money. Write your own script. Journal about it. Number 4, bless your money as you spend it and give it permission to return back to you, and spend more time with others who are wealthy and abundant. And if you can't find them in your immediate environment, the online world is plentiful. So there are ways that you can make that happen. Now, I am going to put something quickly in the comments here. You can look below. Let's see, did that work? Okay, I'm going to have to do that. I think when we hang up. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, so for any of you, I got some messages after last week's Facebook Live from some people who watched the replay who wanted to know how they could get in touch with me or how they could connect with me. So first of all, I'm just going to put my website in the comments, and you can go there and you can reach me easily that way. And also right now, I am scheduling free clarity sessions. So those are free sessions with me. And if you are specifically looking for more help with opening up your money mindset, then you can go ahead and schedule one of those sessions with me. I'm going to put that in the comments. It's a free session. It's like a 30 minutes where we can chat and come up with some really specific strategy goals for you. Okay, so that's one way that you can reach me. Of course, you can follow me here on Facebook. Turn on your reminders so that you know when I go live. And if you would please share this message, this video with your friends. So you can either tag their name here or you can share it on your page. So as I build up an audience on the Facebook fan page, I'll need your help getting the message out, because it's not like your personal page where everybody can see it. On a fan page, it's hard for people to see videos unless you actually promote them. And that means paid promotions. So that's fine, but I would love to have your support if you can. If you like what you hear on Facebook Live sessions, Saturday sessions with me, please get it out there and help your friends see it. Okay, so I'm here every Saturday. Right now, it's 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 10:30 a.m. East Coast time. In September, we may tweak that because I'll be back on the East Coast for a couple of months, but I will keep you updated on that. But next week, I'm here 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. In 30 seconds, I'm going to put in the comments the link to my clarity sessions. Okay? You can also find me over on the website. Listen, I hope something helped you today and resonated with you. If you have a second, post in the comments maybe one of your takeaways from this session today so that somebody else can see it. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful weekend.